Around $68 billion is what the 32,000-word report cost the Adani Group. This report was released by Hindenburg after Adani Enterprise made its ambitious 20,000 crore open offer to the public. Hindenburg says the Adani Group engaged in a brazen stock manipulation and accounting fraud scheme over the course of decades. The Adani Group in response released a 413-page document refuting the allegations. It termed the report as a calculative attack on India and its growth story, given the timing of the report published, as it is the largest ever public offering of equity shares in India. Before we get into the details, first let's see what Hindenburg does. Hindenburg is an activist short seller and a research company. Short selling is the act of betting against a company's stock. Now what is short selling? Suppose you want to short a company hoping that the company's price will dip at some point. You borrow a certain number of shares of the company from a broker and you can sell these shares at the current market price. At some point in future, when the stock price dips, you buy the company shares from the open market and return them to the broker. The transaction is settled and you make a killer profit. But Hindenburg is not just any other short seller. They take bets based on its research which looks for man-made disasters, such as accounting irregularities, mismanagement, and undisclosed related party transactions. They also release a very detailed report afterwards outlining why they are shorting the stock in the first place. They do this in hope that others can join in on the bandwagon and further beat the stock down. In this case, the more the stock goes down, the more it can profit from it. So, in short, the Hindenburg is like an ensemble cast carefully hatching a plan for a heist by manipulating the shortcomings or setting a discourse. Hindenburg's past targets include Nikola Motor Company, Lordstown Motor Corp, Kandi, Clover Health, and Technoglass. Now, how true are the claims of the Adani Group that Hindenburg's report was to sabotage its FPO and it was an attack on India and its ambitions and growth story? We know that the Hindenburg goes after companies to make a killer profit, but there may also be other underlying reasons that may seek to target the Adani Group. The global economic outlook currently looks bleak. With the global economic slowdown propelled by Russia-Ukraine war, logistics disruption had been the reason for soaring inflations in countries. However, India on the other side is a bright spot and is now slated to account for half of the global growth in 2023. The Adani Group has businesses spanning energy, ports and logistics, mining and resources, gas, defense, aerospace and airports. It has also invested heavily in sectors like data centers, green hydrogen, petrochemical refining, roads and solar cell manufacturing. The group is said to be one of the crucial vehicles for India's economic ambitions. It is tied with India's growth as it controls major ports not just in the country, but also in other locations of strategic importance to India. Now, much of what Hindenburg's report put out does not come as a surprise to Indian investors. As per the report, the Adani Group uses shell companies to conceal profits. Yes, but so does the companies like Pfizer, Microsoft, Amazon, Expedia, Starbucks and Costco. National Securities Depository Limited froze 3 accounts of foreign portfolio investors from Mauritius that invested in the Adani Group. The Mauritius route, which was brought in by P. Chidambaram, was used as a tax evading mechanism, because of which Mauritius became the largest FDI source country, is not a new revelation. In 2016, India renegotiated the treaty and it gave India the right to tax capital gains made by investors on shares in Indian companies. The new provisions also covered shell companies. The bringing up of Mundra Port IPO and involvement with Ketan Parekh in the report were already present in the draft prospect of the offering and were factored in by the SEBI. The IPO went on to become a success. Hindenburg reports its research involved speaking with former senior executives of the company and dozens of individuals, which could be hearsay and prejudiced. It also shares one of its sources for its allegations as Indian politician Maua Moitra. If Hindenburg's research is based on a politician who is predisposed to have anti-Modi views and considers the company to be his crony and running a crusade against the Adani Group, it calls for some serious questions. On the other hand, the Adani Group was probed and fined by the Modi administration in recent years. Another allegation is that the Adani Group was over-leveraged and because of that, the entire group is on precarious financial footing. Using own stock as collateral for loans is a common practice, and these details are in the public domain. Lenders are wary of the risks, and so are the investors. Hindenburg alleged that Adani Group had relations with Amicorp, a company that partook in shady financial activities, and was involved in the $4.5 billion 1MDB scandal in Malaysia. In its response, Adani Group has shared that Amicorp is a provider of secretarial services and is merely one of its many clients. Overall, most of the allegations and assertions made by Hindenburg have been matters of public record, even part of Adani's IPO prospect. It does not bring anything new to the table. Now, if it were a matter of serious lapses and a negative outlook of the company, credit rating agencies would have factored them in. Moody's global ESG rating put Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone first among the Indian companies and 9th out of 844 companies in emerging markets globally in 2022. Investors who are going for the FPO would have gone through the offering prospectus and weighed their options. But the report released by Hindenburg at this time, which has been covered by every major global publication, definitely motivated and impacted the FPO. Hindenburg disclosed it holds short position in Adani Group companies through US traded bonds and non-Indian traded derivatives. But since Adani stocks are listed on the Indian stock exchanges, who else is benefiting from them? However, in a respite to Adani Enterprises, their follow-on public offering was subscribed completely. However, their scripts are still trading lower than their offering price. All in all, this comes as a serious lesson for the conglomerates, regulators, investors, and the government.
Please subscribe to Nationalist Hub English channel for more interesting videos, and don't forget to like and share this video. Nationalist Hub, it's a news revolution.